You're watching Consumerthon. In this video, I'm going to compare Serato DJ Intro versus Serato DJ, and if it's worth upgrading for the DDJ SB2. Now, you can pay $129 to upgrade Serato, or you could also get this controller here, which comes with Serato. This is the Akai AMX, and this costs $140 used, so I felt this was a better value for testing out Serato DJ and seeing if it's worth the upgrade for the SB2 controller. Let's first start by looking at Serato's upgrade page for Serato DJ Intro, and this will show some of the reasons they state that you should upgrade and the different features that Serato DJ enables. A lot of the features that you can get with Serato DJ are more just a buy-in point, kind of like how DJ Intro is kind of like a sample. So even when you upgrade to the full version of Serato DJ, there's going to be a lot of additional upsells. For example, this is the Serato DJ Suite. So this is going to include Serato DJ, Serato Video, Serato DVS, the effects expansions, as well as Serato Flip and Serato Pitch and Time. So this is normally $484 once you add in all of the extras that they try to sell you. And this is available for $300 on software that you're buying for $130 and you think that that's the last money that you'll give to Serato. Not so fast. That's not quite the case. The Serato DJ starts at $130, and then if you want to add in all of the extras, you can be looking at closer to $400, almost $500, or $300 if you buy them all at one time and try to save a little bit of money. And a lot of those features you won't even be able to use on an intro controller. What you'll probably want to do is to buy a full-featured controller and then work on getting the expansion packs for it. But let's go through some of the differences here. So Serato Flip, this is the first opportunity to spend an extra $29. What that is it memorizes the order in which you trigger cue points. That's not going to be that useful on this controller because you only have access to 4 cue points at a time. Once you make the upgrade, you'll have access to cue points 5 through 8, but that's only after pressing Shift and Hotkey. So you can access 5 through 8 at one time, or you can access 1 through 4 at one time, but you'll never be able to access all the cue points on this 8 pads here because the bottom 4 pads are not dedicated to cue points. Serato Flip on this controller would be something that's kind of limited. You can use the software and just trigger those cue points on your laptop, but that's not really the purpose of it. So key analysis, I think that this is a nice feature. This is actually something that people used to buy mixed in time software to figure out which key everything was in, but now that's actually included in Serato DJ, so that's kind of a good value. You've got key shifting, which actually allows you to change the key of the song. Beat jump is nice. It allows you to move a certain number of beats within the song, but there's no dedicated buttons for it here on the SB2. You'd have to use those controls in software. The slicer, there's no dedicated buttons for that either on the SB2. The best workaround for that is to spend an additional $20 for the Serato remote, which you have to own an iOS tablet, so like an iPad. It doesn't work on Android. But if you own an iOS tablet, then you can take advantage of the slicer function. Yeah, the international language, I felt this was kind of mean. So Serato is basically telling people that, so you don't speak English, basically pay us $130, we'll fix that for you. That doesn't seem like a value add thing, and it's definitely not something that I would want to pay $130 for if I didn't speak English. I'd probably just go with another company that produced software in my language. Yeah. Quantize, this allows cue points to snap to the Beatgrid. The remote support is what I was talking about as far as paying the extra $20 to use the iOS tablet app. It's $5 for your phone, but it doesn't do as much. Like you won't have access to the slicer mode on your phone. Slip mode will allow you to add in scratches, cues, and loops while playing the track underneath. The record function is a big one. I'm not sure why. Well, they want the additional money, but it would seem that it should be in the intro version. I know that Virtual DJ includes recording in the intro version. it's disappointing that this is an upsell to be able to record the music, but it is. So if you want to be able to record, then you do have to spend the extra $130 to get the Serato DJ. The effects, you get some additional effects, and there's ways to control 3 parameters on the effects, but this is something that you'll have to do in software because you can only control 2 parameters on this controller. So this is also another upsell because you have the opportunity to buy the expansion pack, which has even more effects for $29. The decks, there's absolutely nothing different with the decks. You can have 2 or 4 deck controller on the intro side as well as on the Serato DJ side, the full version side. One thing I will say is that I have been advocating using the AMX as kind of a better value way to upgrade. But when you do upgrade this way, this is a 2-channel mixer, so you're not going to get access to the 3rd and 4th decks, even though when you use this along with this, it's capable of controlling the 3rd and 4th deck. So that's a little bit disappointing in that sense. The cue points, you get 4 cue points with the intro software. To get to the additional 5 through 8 cue points is going to require pressing Shift and then the hot cue button, and then these, which were 1 through 4, become 5 through 8, but you don't get an easy way of accessing all of the cue points at the same time like you would get if you had the DDJ Sx2, for instance. This is going to be the same thing for the sample player. Each sampler slot has 6 different slots for each bank, but you can only access 4 of them on the controller here. You can access the other 2 on the computer, but it's not that intuitive, I guess, or to have to rely on the computer versus your controller. I say spend the extra money, get the controller that has access to all 6 banks at one time. Also, switching between the different banks is not easy on the SB2. Sync on the intro version, you're gonna get just matching the BPMs on the song. In the full version, it's going to match the BPMs and also match the beats as well. So it'll be a little bit better syncing on the full version. MIDI remapping, this is something that's not going to apply to the SB2 or to the Akai AMX. There's no MIDI mapping available. If I plug in the Novation Launchpad, that you do get MIDI mapping, but on the Launchpad, some of the MIDI mapping controls are knobs, which the Launchpad has no knobs. So it's kind of a limited use for the Launchpad. There's probably some other controllers like the APC40 that you could do some decent MIDI mappings on, but this isn't going to be a reason to upgrade. And the video, that's going to require an additional $149 to use that. So that's another upsell of $149 to use Serato Video. So that's my overview of what features you can expect on the full version of Serato, and especially if you're thinking about upgrading the DDJ SB2. My personal opinion is that it's probably not worth upgrading any of the intro DJ controllers. It's better to sell them and get a DJ controller that is designed to work with Serato DJ, the full version, and has easier access to a lot of the capabilities of it. One of these DJ controllers is the DDJ Sx2, so please be sure to check out my full video and tutorial demo of that DJ controller. So what do you think? Let me know if you've upgraded or if not, and kind of what you think about if it's worth it to upgrade or not in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and thanks again for watching Consumerthon.